Today, I'm going to be doing a quick little gameplay video with this brand new glitched 6'3" point guard build. Really quick, like and subscribe if you drink water, and also let me know if you guys have any builds you guys are willing to let me borrow. I'm trying to do more gameplay videos such as this one, so if you are willing to help me out, that'd be greatly appreciated. Of course, as usual, I'm going to be doing 2 gameplay videos with this build, and the first one was a quick 2v2 game. We're going up against a legend, but honestly, that doesn't mean anything this year. This guy's name is Call Me Millie. Okay, well, Millie, you're gonna have to play up a little higher because shooting on this build is just way too easy. Plus, this build has super good dribbling, which makes it very hard to keep up with. And also, this build can just do a little bit of everything, including pretty good finishing. And also on the defensive end, this build is quite good. Okay, so on this possession right here, you guys see I'm dribbling around a little bit. I'm able to speed boost right past this guy right here, bait him into jumping at absolutely nothing, and get a very easy layup. For some reason, the person guarding my teammate was a legitimate drone, who also probably had a broken controller too. Like, what is he doing? I mean, his name is water_melon with 2 L's 657. That's definitely a comp name if I've ever seen one. I'm being guarded by this giant corn top guy whose defense wasn't really that great either. I'm not gonna lie, bro, you were just way too slow. At this point, me and my teammate were just taking turns absolutely destroying our defenders. I mean, it's just way too easy. Now it's my turn to score, and I also have takeover. I'm kind of dribbling around a little bit. I kind of messed up my dribble moves right here, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. Getting open and shooting on this build is just a piece of cake. Also, you guys saw, since you aren't super short like some other builds, you can still hit somewhat contested shots like that. And all around, this build is just super good. To end this game off, my teammate pretty much just hit a corner 3. And now we're going to be hopping into the second gameplay. So for this second gameplay, we are on my favorite court, and that is the 1v1 court. And we're going up against this guy named DEMIGOD. After a little bit of dribbling, I'm able to just speed boost right past this guy and get a very easy dunk. And then on this possession right here, you guys can kind of see the clamps on this build. You see I'm able to get this steal right here. And then I go into the paint. I don't know why I thought shooting this would be a good idea. Honestly, bro, I'm just so bad. My guy DEMIGOD just started spamming this behind the back escape and shoots a shot when I'm literally right in front of him. And I decided on this possession to increase my lead a little bit. I shoot a 3 off this step back with this hairy armpit in my face, and even with that being said, it's big green. My boy DEMIGOD now has the ball, and for some reason he loves doing his little useless step back that just creates no space. And since it creates no space, I get a very easy contest. Off his brick 3-pointer, he ends up just fouling me and literally smacking me in the butt. But now at least I get the ball up top. I'm able to find a little bit of space, but I end up shooting a white. Please go in. So now this DEMIGOD guy has kind of a chance to come back. Right here, this half-naked man just runs right past me and gets a dunk. However, I was able to kind of come back by hitting this slightly contested layup. The score is now 7-2, and I'm playing pretty good defense right here, bumping him pretty well, and I almost ended up getting a block right here. He does get the offensive rebound, and I don't know where I went after he got the board. Like, I don't know why I wasn't contesting him. Either this guy just gave up, or he has the reaction time of a turtle. Because literally every time I speed boost, he moves like 2 seconds after. Like, come on, bro, you have got to stick with me. Okay, so back on defense, you guys can see the clamps. And oh my goodness, this is just way too easy. And then not only on defense, but offense as well, it's just super easy to score, especially when you're 3-point hunting. Like, DEMIGOD, bro, where are you going? So after getting that steal right there, I realized this man does not have unblockable. So I'm about to turn this into a steal fest. You guys see him being a bit toxic and totally just spamming this guy. And now even worse, he has Christmas takeover. Like, the game is pretty much over at this point. Honestly, I feel bad. Like, what can you do? Now this man right here just goes straight into the paint, but you're not just about to bully me down low. And now he's flopping. Like, come on, man. It's just way too easy. Green. Bang. Right here, he goes ahead and just runs right past me, and let's go, he scored. But I'm gonna be honest, it's not like it really matters at this point. You're not gonna be able to clamp me up whatsoever. It's just way too easy to score on this build. You guys see it's big greens in his eye. Oh my goodness, this build is just so good. The game's pretty much over at this point, but come on, DEMIGOD, let's see what you got. Honestly, bro, you can't just be standing there like that, just letting me rip you. I mean, it's just way too easy. Like, honestly, this will probably become my main point guard build with just how good it is, like, all around. Now, before I actually show you guys how to make this build really quick, please subscribe to the channel. According to my YouTube analytics, most of you guys aren't subscribed anyways. You guys have no clue how much just clicking that red button helps grow this channel. Also, one more thing, if you did just skip to this part of the video, I'd highly recommend watching the first part of this video. Honestly, the gameplay itself, as well as what I'm saying during the gameplay, will help you get a much better idea of how this build plays. Definitely, you'll learn a lot more about this build than you would just seeing the attributes and badges. So now for the very first step of this build, make sure on the metric system, this is very important. And then for the position, you're going to want to go with point guard. After that, you're going to want to change the body settings to 1.77 meters, 66 kg, and then 1.78 meters for the wingspan. In order to get these body settings, you have to go straight to these measurements. For example, don't drop the height all the way down to minimum and then bring it back up to 1.77 meters. Go straight to 1.77 meters. Pretty much every single video, somebody messes this up. So again, as I said, just go exactly to these measurements. Now for the attributes and takeovers, you can pretty much go with random stuff. You're not actually going to be making this build, but you do have to do this to glitch the build. And once you get right here, you're going to want to scroll over to where it says edit build, then press edit build, back out to the main menu, and you're going to want to change the units of measurement. After changing the units of measurement back to Imperial, you can edit the build you just made, and just like that, you're able to get the glitched stats. Now I'm gonna show you guys two versions of this build. The first one's gonna be more of a classic point guard version, and the second one's gonna be more of an all-around point guard build. For the body settings of this first build, I'd recommend going with 6'3", 174 pounds, and a 6'3" wingspan. Also, I did forget to change the body shape, but usually I go with the 5. For the finishing attributes, you guys can see this is pretty decent. You're not going to be spamming rim runs on this build, so you don't need a super high driving dunk, but I'd recommend having at least a little bit of driving dunk. That way, if you have an open lane, you can't take it. For shooting, this is definitely very elite with a 95 3-pointer as well as 31 shooting badges. On this build, you're able to green very consistently, and you'll have a 99 3-pointer if you buy boosts. And then onto the playmaking, this is just as elite with also 31 playmaking badges. You guys can see this is just really good. Onto the defense, this is quite good as well. On this build, I didn't upgrade block whatsoever. On the more of an all-around version, I did end up upgrading block. So if block is something that's very important to you, maybe consider making the second build. And then on to the physicals, you guys can see this is quite good. Also, the reason why my speed is a lot lower than my acceleration is because speed helps you move around faster off ball, while acceleration helps you speed boost faster with the ball. So for this reason, definitely acceleration is way more important. So obviously we don't have free throw right now because this version is designed to play park. But if you are going to play rec center or pro-am and you want free throw on this build, this is what I'd recommend doing. First, drop down your driving layup all the way down to a 70. With these attributes, I recommend bumping up your midi to an 89, and then you can also get an 88 free throw. The reason why I would recommend these attributes for rec center and pro-am is because beyond just getting free throw, you're able to get much better shooting. Well, usually finishing and dunking in pro-am is not nearly as important since there's a lot more like help defenders and stuff. For the takes, I would recommend going with double limitless. In my opinion, these are the best takeovers for a 3-point hunting point guard build such as this. And then you guys can see I built a playmaking shot creator. The name might be a little different if you make the park version of this build, but playmaking shot creator does make a lot of sense. So for the second build, as I said, this is going to be an all-around version. This time for the body settings, you're going to want to go with 169 pounds for the weight and 6'9" for the wingspan. I don't know why both my weight and wingspan are such interesting numbers. Starting these out with finishing, you guys can already see this is significantly better than the previous build. I mean, you're going to get a 92 driving dunk as well as the small, elite, and pro contact dunk package. Definitely, you're going to be catching a ton of contact dunks. For shooting, this is quite a bit worse with only 28 shooting badges and also only an 88 3-pointer. The playmaking on this build is pretty comparable to the previous build. You don't get as many Hall of Fame playmaking badges such as quick chain and handles for days, but even with that being said, this build is still elite. And then next onto defensive / rebounding. The only difference between the defense on this build and the previous build is that this build is able to get some block, which definitely does help quite a bit on the defensive end. And then onto the physicals, again, this is quite good. You do need an 85 vertical this time for small contact dunks. If you want free throw on this build, what I'd recommend doing is drop down your pass accuracy 1 rating to an 85. Also drop down your driving layup to a 73 and you can get an 88 free throw. For the takeovers, again, I'm going with double limitless range. You can go with like a slashing takeover if you want to make this more of a true BP build. But in my opinion, I think these takeovers are definitely very good. And then you guys can see I built a two-way threat, which isn't a super cool name, but does tell me I've made a build that can do everything, which is exactly what I was going for. And with that being said, that is gonna wrap it up for the video. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. There's 3 other gameplay videos on the screen right now with an assortment of glitched builds. Like, comment, subscribe, go follow me on Twitter, and I'm out. Peace.